Right, and welcome back to my ongoing review of selected episodes of Blake 7 as I continue with Season 3. This is now the conclusion to Avon's backstory of his last day. Now, if you haven't seen my review of Part 1 of this, you need to look at the episode I review Countdown, because this is Part 2. Rumours of Death. Avon has got himself locked up in a Federation facility. This is because he wants to get his hands on a Federation interrogator called Shrinker. And that's exactly what he does. He tricks Shrinker, and the result is he is rescued by Tarrant and Dana when Avon turns off the homing device in his neck. Shrinker gets it the other way around, in the terms of getting it wrong. So, Avon is rescued. He's got his man. He wants to interrogate himself. And everyone returns back to the Liberator. Meanwhile, at President Servalan's headquarters, you could say, Chesko is going on about how great Earth and the inner planets are now reunited under the Federation, and the Federation is expanding once more. Unfortunately, he's in for a bit of a rude surprise. His wife, Sula, is in fact part of the resistance against Servalan, and she promptly turns on him and shoots him. He tries to run away and he's liquidated. And they just want his clothes, because they are eyeing up Servalan. Meanwhile, Avon has teleported down with Shrinker into a cave, a sealed-off cave, and he starts asking Shrinker some very big questions about a woman called Anna Grant. Shrinker says, "You're Kerr Avon," and so on and whatnot, and then he suddenly realises, and he basically tells Avon, "You were under very close observation by the Federation's Central Security. You were under such observation, they knew everything. Everything." Shrinker gives the name Bartholomew. Excuse my pronunciation on that. And that's about it. It seems that poor old Avon, his plans to rob the Federation of lots of money with a woman called Anna Grant, unfortunately, was definitely not to be. They had him under observation. Meanwhile, back with the rebels, these security personnel of Servalan detected a camera fault. It's not an actual fault, it's a deliberate fault, knocking out the camera by the rebels outside. They dispatched this platoon, or squad should I say, of Federation troopers, who are promptly jumped on by the rebel soldiers, because obviously they want their uniforms. And, of course, they trick the security personnel back at home base and basically say everything's okay, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, Avon has teleported back up, leaving Shrinker to die at his own hand. He gives him a gun. And Avon's asking Aurak a lot of questions, because he wants to come face-to-face with Servalan. Meanwhile, back down on this residential estate of Servalan's, the rebels put their second part of their plan into operation, where they're all disguised, obviously, and they return back to the stately house where Servalan is, and then all hell breaks loose. The rebellion starts a shootout. The alarms go off. but the rebels move pretty quickly, and they quickly overpower all resistance without too much hassle. And the result of this is obviously they've taken control of outside the building, and they're now moving into the building, and they take control inside the building, and they kick down the door of the security headquarters, you could say, the security room, whatever it is called, and they kill one of them, but the other one is seriously wounded, of the Federation personnel. And then they move on Servalan, and they take the door down. Servalan is promptly captured by the rebel faction and taken down to the cellar and chained up. And everything seems to be going well for them. Unfortunately, there is a little bit of a disagreement between Sula and next in command. He basically says he and the men just want Servalan dead. Get rid of her. Don't care. Not interested. She's got to die. Outright. Just get rid of her. She represents the Federation, the tyranny, and just get rid of her. Unfortunately for him, Sula disagrees. She wants Servalan kept alive so she can use Servalan as a bargaining tool to cause a change in the hierarchy of the Federation. Meanwhile, Major Grindley, who survived the encounter with Sula's rebel army, though shot, has alerted the Federation security forces, who are now on their way to obviously rescue Servalan. Meanwhile, Avon and co have teleported down, and they've sussed out, oh, something's going on here. Looks like a rebellion of some sort. And they slowly make their way through. They knock out a few of the rebellion soldiers before gaining entrance to the house. Avon and Tarrant discover Major Grinley, and they say, "Where's Servalan?" Well, in more in terms of Avon, "Where's Servalan?" You know, he's really on the ball. He wants to he wants answers big time. So Grinley takes them down to the cellar before he passes away, you could say, from his wounds. And Avon and Tarrant discover Servalan chained to a wall. And of course, the usual exchange takes place between Avon and Servalan. While this is going on, upstairs, obviously, Callie and Dana are keeping a watch out. And they observe Sula coming out of this meeting that's taking place. And Sula's obviously gone downstairs to the cellar, where she's promptly intercepted by Tarrant. And to Avon's absolute amazement, Sula is Anna Grant. He just cannot believe his eyes. He believes that Anna Grant is dead. And all the facts come out. It turns out that Anna Grant was the Federation agent who was keeping Avon under very close observation. Very close. Obviously, Avon just cannot believe his eyes. He's struggling with the facts. She's trying to talk her way out of it, because obviously she has now switched sides because she's just led this little rebellion against Servalan. But she is quite aware of Avon, who would put 2 and 2 together, and he would definitely shoot her. And that's exactly what happened. She draws her gun, Avon draws his, and Sula, aka Anna Grant, is shot. And she does confess to Avon. And the final pieces of the puzzle fall into place for Avon. He can't believe it. It was her that was spying on him all the time on that last day. Meanwhile, Villa promptly teleports Callie, Tarrant and Dana back up as the Federation security forces have now arrived and take back what is their property, you could say. And they basically just overthrow the rebellion that took place. Avon takes his bracelet off for some reason, frees Servalan for some odd reason. She picks up a gun, points it at him, and basically says, put the bracelet back on, Avon. I'm going to blow your head off and send your crew, your corpse. But she's distracted by the Sula's number 2 comes down the stairs saying, look, we're under attack by Federation forces. And Servalan shoots him, and in that second, Avon is teleported back up to the Liberator. Finally, Avon has got all the answers he wanted about that last day. And on that note, my final thoughts. So, Avon's grand plan to steal a massive sum of money out of the Federation banking system didn't go as he thought, because poor old Avon was under observation by the Federation, and he was under observation by their top agent, Anna Grant. Poor old Avon. So it all went to the wall for him. And so there we go. This actually concludes where it all goes wrong for Avon in the swindling of the banking system, where he goes on the run. He believes that Anna Grant is dead. He was shot himself. That's in sort of part 1 of his backstory. Now that we get the conclusion, and it turns out that Avon really was suckered, you could say, poor Avon, that the Federation had him under very, very close observation. And he puts the pieces together, obviously, and he gets the confession from Sula, aka Anna Grant, and he gets the answers he wants. Obviously, they're not exactly pleasant answers for Avon, but he's got his answers. Rumours of Death is a great episode, in my opinion. It really is a really good one. It shows that the Federation is rebuilding. We know that the inner planets and Earth are now reunited fully under Federation control. So yes, the Federation is definitely reorganising itself after the great battle that took place. That's very intriguing. One thing that strikes me as a little odd is when the alarm is raised by Major Grindley, I would have thought the Federation security forces would have been a lot quicker to get to the presidential palace, because this is Servalan, number 1 of the Federation. They were a bit slow getting there. Apart from that, I think overall this is a very good episode. Definitely, it's a very good episode. And as I say, this is the conclusion to Avon's last day backstory. So now you get this complete backstory of Avon. Yep, great episode. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'll catch you in due course for the next one. See you then. Goodbye.